Right. Well, I was going to test screen sharing anyway, and the point of tonight's stream, we were going to talk about Susan Atkins and whether she stabbed Ficowski or not, which most people agree she did. But right now, we should be sharing the screen.
I can see that.
Yes. Excellent. Where's Mike gone though? Ah, Mike has gone unconnected.
I'm right here.
You're there.
No,
Right. That was bizarre. You disappeared. Right. Well, this is the description of the wounds in Ficowski's leg. He had loads of wounds in his leg, actually. It wasn't just a couple of wounds. It's
they're all
about...
below the knee, right? They're all below the knee.
No, they're above the knee. Most of them are in his thigh.
That's the ones that Tex put in. Where's the ones that Susan put in?
Stab wounds of the left leg. The left leg shows 8 stab wounds. They're all on his left leg.
That's her. That's what she did. She was sitting back like that. He was pulling her hair, and he stabbed back.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a picture as well. Well, the body map picture.
Oh,
here.
Okay.
You see my mouse?
Yep, I can see it. Good job.
This is the area of his leg that had been stabbed. So yeah, that does sort of correlate with someone standing in front of him stabbing backwards, doesn't it? You see, look, yeah. Like 32 inches. Yeah, this tells you how far away from the top of his head. Oh, and also the other thing, the interesting thing is the wounds to his head. He had loads of wounds to his head from where he got pistol whipped with the gun. He smashed him over the head with the gun a lot of times, didn't he? So that might also explain how she managed to get close enough to stab him in the leg while he was trying to fight her off. Yeah. Well, I can hear me echoing from someone.
All right, let's begin.
We are.
Okay, who's in the room?
There's no one in the chat anyway. Panamint Patty hasn't said anything for a while. I've made her a mod though.
Panamint Patty.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, yeah, she is here now, yeah. I've made her a mod. So she should be showing up with a wrench in the chat now.
Yeah, don't give her a wrench. She knows what she'll do with it.
Yes, she has. She's got a wrench. But, well, the screen sharing seems to be working all right, doesn't it, anyway? So that's useful to know. And I can show you the other pictures. This goes into, tells you how.
All right,
how far away, how far down his leg they were.
I need this to take my mind off of it, and there's really not much more I can do.
Yeah. So
I'm going to stay with you all for now.
When it says each stab wound is similar, each measures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I found some rock and roll shirts. I found a Zeppelin shirt, too. All right, so...
Yeah, you had a Guns N' Roses one on earlier. Is that what you've got now? Yeah. That's the Guns N' Roses.
No, when I went into my biker look, I had to get regular-looking shirts instead of cufflinks. Let me do my theory. And again, you can run a check up and down what I say. All right, so this is what I say, and what I don't know if Susan wrote it in an unpublished manuscript, but it basically was confirmed somehow. And what Nancy just said confirmed it as well. So she could not stab Sharon. And somehow or another, she attacked or went after Fryko, or maybe Fryko attacked her and started pulling her back by the hair onto a chair. They both fell backward, and Susan just started stabbing backwards instinctively. That's it. Finally, somehow, he broke away from her, and maybe that was because of, I don't know, well, maybe because he was
getting whacked with the gun.
He hustled with her and then pushed her away. Then he ran out of the house and Tex chased him. So that's
right. He got shot twice as well, Russ. There's a couple of other things there because I thought he only had one gunshot wound because they only found one bullet in him, but he had a second gunshot wound in his leg. A bullet had gone right through his thigh. That's on the body map picture that you see that I showed you a minute ago. I'll go back to that. And also, I reckon that the him starting to get hit over the head with the gun. Because the gun jammed at one point, didn't it? So Tex couldn't shoot anymore. And so he started hitting Frykowski. And in Tex's psychiatric report, he does say at one point he had to help one of the girls. One of the girls started screaming. And someone had her by the hair. And so he had to help her. I can't remember exactly what he says he did. But there's a point where his head, it didn't break his skull. But there's a lot of soft tissue wounds to his head where he's been beat over the head with the gun. So I reckon that was when he had grabbed hold of Susan. Tex ran over and started hitting him with the gun to get him to let go of Susan.
Right. Yeah, it was Susan.
Yeah. I'll show you this in a second or something. Finish what I was doing. Yeah, the poor guy had 51 stab wounds. Well, we got 5 viewers now, hello everyone. If you read his whole report, yeah, 51 different stab wounds. A lot of them to his right arm, so he must have been like going like that to try and
Who were the
protect
viewers?
himself, poor bastard. Ah, damn it.
Viewers, Nancy, who are the viewers?
No one's saying anything in the chat. We only got Panamint Patty here.
Russ, you sound muffled again.
Yeah, you sound muffled again somehow now. I don't know how you're doing that.
Me?
I can
Yeah, a
hear
little
you.
bit.
Sound like
Yeah, only a little bit. Not as bad as you have been on others.
Maybe
I'll take you to the pictures.
Yeah.
This isn't very interesting.
we got to let go from the standpoint of little things that happen. They come and go. It's never going to be a perfect show. This is YouTube and Facebook and, you know, toys after all. Right?
Here, look.
Looking at now.
This is the pictures of his body, right? And that's the entry wound for the second bullet, because he had one that had gone in his back and they found the bullet inside him. But then there's another gunshot wound on his leg. Like it goes in, entry wound there, exit wound there.
Can I add
All
something?
among the area where he was stabbed. So this calls into question when the gun jammed, because I always assumed that it was when he shot Joe Sebring. So did he shoot? I suppose he must have shot Ficowski twice first, must he? And then shot Joe Sebring. And then the gun jammed. And I reckon that is when they all got up and started running around when they realised that the gun had jammed, so they had a second to escape.
Where did Franco actually fall on the lawn? Directly in front of the steps or further down the lawn?
I think he was further down the lawn. I'm not exactly sure, though.
Okay, I always thought that Franco got away and Tech shot him from the pool, like, I don't know, 20 or 30 feet away. That was always...
In his psychiatry, this is where the bullet went in his back, must be.
Nancy, this is amazing. You did such a great job, didn't she, Mike?
Very good.
This is his head. Look, see, this is the soft tissue injuries to his head, where he's been beat with the gun. So I reckon that's what happened to him when he was holding Susan by the hair, and so then he started to go limp, obviously, and he's been whacked with a gun, and then she's managed to get back close enough to actually stab him in the leg. Because I was cynical that she'd be able to do that while he was holding her.
Well,
but if someone then ran up behind him and started whacking him in the head with the bloody gun butt, and if you read the text of this, when they question the examiner about it, they say to him, they ask him what kind of implement could have caused this, and he says it must have been a blunt instrument, didn't have a sharp edge, blah, blah, blah. And the guy holds up the gun and says, could it have been this gun? And the guy goes, yes.
If she's stabbing back in a backwards motion, isn't the entry wound like the diameter of the stab wounds and the holes going to look like it's all jacked off and different than like a direct stab? Like, can't you be able to tell if somebody is like, they're not going to be able directly to plunge that knife right into somebody's legs from behind, do it like accurately.
Well, the type of knife they had, if it was, they were using like military knives, weren't they? And they were really sharp. Apparently, they had been sharpening them a lot. So, and those knives, they're designed to, inflict maximum damage. The handles are weighted and all that. So
here's my point. If she's doing it from behind, inadvertently, not watching what she's doing, her hair is getting pulled, then those wounds.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, I think that's the. Because he says these stab wounds are similar. Each measures 3/4 inch in length and about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in depth. They are perpendicular to the skin surface. None are fatal. So these are just the ones to the top left of his leg.
So in other words, you ought to be able to differentiate her wound.
Your take. Go ahead.
Me?
Yes. Go ahead.
What I just said. I just feel if you're stabbing in a backwards motion, that knife's going to be all over the place. You're going to be able to tell by the wounds, his post-mortem wounds, that it came possibly all in different forms because she's not stabbing directly up and down watching what she's doing. So how are the wounds going to be able to match up with the other wounds. Like if somebody, like if y'all are laying there and I'm stabbing down on you, if they're going to be direct, like boom, right into the flesh. What science tells me that she was doing was coming from behind. So maybe some of her stabs barely even nicked them, you know, and then others were like coming from the sideways. Y'all reckon what I'm trying to say to you?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So that shows that she did that she was responsible for stabbing him because the other two were busy with other people.
Yeah, I agree. If she
someone ran over to help her.
In 1976 with Stan Atkinson, Susan's trying to say, I lifted that knife up and I couldn't do it. Well, sweetheart, beautiful, baby, every damn thing I call you on these pictures, you're fucking lying. You're lying.
Do it to Sharon. She meant to Sharon. She couldn't do
No,
it.
she meant to Frykowski. She said, the grace of God stopped my arm from going down on Frykowski's legs.
Well, someone did. Fucking hell, because he had, 8 wounds in his leg, so someone did.
Right.
And at the same time, I reckon at the same time as he's getting stabbed in the leg, he's also getting hit in the head as well. This is when they really start laying into him.
No, he wasn't getting jumped by 2 people at once, was he?
No. Well, no, in Texas Psychiatric Report, he says that at one point someone started screaming when a man had one of the girls by the hair. I don't think he even says which girl it was. He just says one of the girls. And he had to go over and help the girl. So I reckon, Texas, when she started screaming.
He's the most reliable one to talk out of all of them.
Yeah, but this is what Tex said as well in his psychiatric report. He remembers.
I think you focus a little too much on that psychiatric report, to be honest with you. No offense, but he doesn't know. You know, he's going to give a different story every time.
Yeah.
But my point was the stabs. The style of the stabs and the wounds are got to be different. If you're stabbing somebody directly or you're trying to jab at them when you're not watching what you're doing. That's all. That's the only point I'm trying to make.
That point is correct, and I just want to do a physical reenactment. So you got to look at me. I'm the only one of us that's sitting in a reclining chair. So Fryko pulls me back.
I didn't see myself looking at the document. Really awful.
Yeah, exactly. Russ has got it down to a science.
So Mikey's 100% correct. And then Tex hits Fryko on the top of the head. He's standing above him, which I wondered how that was done because they were both over 5 feet tall. And Susan, apparently, which I didn't realize that, Mike told me today she was like maybe 95 pounds soaking wet, which means she was short too.
Yeah, she's short.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So, but anyway.
It's quite near the top of his leg as well, if you look at the location of him as well. Is it page 9? I think it's page 9. They're right up the top of his leg up here.
Okay, look at the leg diameter and zoom right in on that, Nancy.
I can make it bigger like that.
There you go. Look how different those two right there on the top look. I just blew it up. Okay.
Yeah.
See that dark one?
That's the bullet wound in his leg, and these are the stab wounds up here.
Are the whole stab wounds or are the line stab wounds?
The lines, the holes of the bullet, that's the entry wound of the bullet and the exit wound of the bullet.
All right, look, this
these are where
lines up with what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Look at the stab wounds up top compared to the bottom.
Yeah.
She only nailed him 3-4 times down in the pelvic and
8 wounds in his leg according to the text.
Okay, he got shot in the kneecap.
They've not highlighted each wound. There's only like 4 or 5 wounds.
Did he get shot in the kneecap on the left? Is that what that is? A bullet hole?
No. That's abrasions on his knees.
Okay.
He was trying to crawl away at some point. Poor bugger.
Okay.
And he had loads of defensive wounds in his hands, so he was putting his hands and arms up. A lot of the stab wounds that he got are in his right arm.
That's a fucked up looking A they wrote in abrasion.
Yeah. Doctor's handwriting, isn't it?
Is that you that wrote that down, Russ? Is that your handwriting?
The way that I always thought of it was that if he ran out of the house and Tex was chasing him, he got down the stairs, he cut to the left, screaming, help, help, help. Tex shoots him. If there's something in the back, Tex shoots him, spins around, down on his knees, and Tex shoots him again in the leg. If that's a front entry wound, goes back on his back like that, Tex overcomes him and just starts stabbing, as he put it, elbow deep into his chest.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why
you see, he gives there's a whole different account when he's talking to the psychiatrist. And he says the first thing he did was shoot him in the back. He was laying down on the sofa when he walked in and he shot him. And the gun jammed. I don't believe that he was still shooting by the time he was outside. I think the gun jammed while they were still inside, and then they got the knives out. And there's a point because the injuries to his head. He's he got hit with the gun basically, didn't he? He got beat with the
butt. I mean the handle of the gun.
Yeah, the butt of the gun.
The grip.
Over his head.
Right here?
This is after the gun had jammed, so the gun he couldn't shoot him anymore.
What is that right there? That's his head? The top of his head?
That's his head. Yeah, that's the top of his
Okay.
head. That's showing you the
All right.
soft tissue injuries to the top of his head.
Did he get stabbed in the top of the head too?
No, that's with the gun barrel. They were hitting him
okay.
with the gun, not the barrel, the handle. You know.
Did Abigail get
the gun.
stabbed in the face? Is Abigail
Yes,
the one that
yeah.
got stabbed? That is fucking brutal.
Yeah, that is a
Wow.
really brutal picture. I hate that picture. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that eliminates drug burn right there to me. When you're stabbing that viciously,
Why does that eliminate drug burn to you?
man.
They were psychotic, weren't they?
I don't know. I don't want to go down that road tonight. They're so vicious how they did this.
Yeah.
that I don't know. If you want a drug burn, you're going to be quiet as you can, get the shit, and get the fuck out of there.
Well, no, it was personal as well, wasn't it? They were.
It was,
You know,
personal, right?
they were making an example of them because they'd ripped.
Yeah,
him
I
off.
guess I'm wrong. I go back on that then.
This is why Voytek because Voytek gets the most injuries out of any of these people. They were going for him and Abigail.
He's a douchebag anyway. He
So
owes
they
one
had
people money.
they are the ones that they were targeting, I think, because this is the guy that owed them money or owed them MDA or whatever. It's unclear which one, whether he just didn't supply the drugs or whether they were bad drugs or what. But he had ripped them off somehow on some MDA.
Nance, did you just copy these from the Cielo Drive, or did you get them from somewhere?
No,
else?
I got these on Scribed.
Oh, Scribed. Okay, that's a good site
Yeah.
too. That is.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there. Yeah. Right, back to what they're saying in the chat.
Nancy, could I give you like $20, $30 and get Scribed for like take your account and password? Because I would like to download some trials, but I don't like Scribed, but I can't find it anywhere else.
Oh, you can just sign up for a month's free trial and cancel it, can't you, as well?
Okay, I didn't know that. I gotta try something. So let me get through it. Mike, if
Yeah.
I'll take your own fucking hunting knife and cut your balls off. Okay. One of the
Big
reasons
man.
I come to this tour guide channel for Touring Cielo is because sometimes we represent crime and punishment tours from all over the world, and ABC Tours gives the best ones in New York. ABC NYC Limo is well known for guided tours of New York City and anyone you want to go to. Now, if you're in New York, please call 1-800-429-5285. A guy named Mike picks up. Just hang up. He's my idiot nephew from Georgia, and he never should have been allowed out of the airplane.
I love to fly.
Let's see. Yeah, that's what he said. I love to fly. Where do they keep the keys to the plane? Anyway, so that's ABC NYC guided tours of New York City. Now, if I can do that for 30 seconds on each show, I have justified over $5,000 or $10,000 in expenses. And if you guys,
Jalinda's got a lot to say as well. Look at that.
yeah, okay, so I might do some advertising here, but it went well. That's all. Now, hi, how are you, dear? And Delinda wants to say, what does she want to say, Nancy?
Ficowski got the towel off his wrist and started to run. Sadie attacked him. They thought she stabbed his leg repeatedly.
I
He
forgot
ran
he had his hands up.
He ran towards the door when not very effectively though. It was a towel. He got away, and there's no burns on his wrist. He wasn't tied up tight, and yeah.
If Susan
He got up and ran after he'd shot him because he got shot in the back once as well. But he actually was shot twice. There's 2 gunshot wounds on him. He ran towards the door when Tek shot him, and because then he gets shot in the leg as well. So
if my murderer
he followed him outside, tackled him on the lawn, beat his head with the gun butt, then stabbed repeatedly.
Right.
Is that when Susan went in there and babysat Sharon at that point? She was holding Sharon
when they
down?
were running out in the garden, yeah.
All right,
Because
okay.
Abigail ran as well, so some of them must have been chasing
So
Abigail.
Krenwinkel's the one that chased Abigail down the hallway out towards the pool, and then they did a wrap around the front yard.
Yeah.
That's what they did. Right, okay.
Now, the joke is this. If my murderous cohort, I don't care how hot she looks, she comes out, I tell her to get something to tie his hands, and she comes out with a towel. I'm like,
yeah.
Stupid fucking bitch. This is why they threw you out of Fountain of the World. Can you get me a rope or a shoelace, you stupid moron? This is why you're still blowing grocery boys to get free milk. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a grocery boy. I used to be.
All of us used to be. I made good money, too.
My first job was at Piggly Wiggly.
Gee, there's a surprise. I would have thought you worked for a major corporation, Mike. The Piggly Wiggly. Wow.
Yep. I had to wear a bow tie to work. I pushed them buggies through the parking lot when I was a kid.
Buggies. That's what they called them. Buggies. Not shopping. Buggies. That's good.
Buggies.
Oh, oh, isn't that special?
Cots.
Nancy, can we go to some other, like, does anybody have any red nail polish? We can kind of touch up the photos there. Nobody's in a funny mood. I guess it's gallows humor for me.
Prisons are overcrowded.
Yeah. Okay, so we had the
right.
Which is good. Who else was here? Patty and
we got one other person, but they're not saying nothing.
I hope it's Jairus.
Nancy, while you have Google open, could you open Walmart? I heard there's coffins on sale at Walmart.
Fucking coffins. Is that how you scared Tammy Easton away with the coffin talk?
Did she leave?
She never showed up.
I spoke to her a couple of times. She's not a true crime. She just happened to be a roommate with Susan, and that's it. But she's not a crime or anything like that.
Nah, she's going back to California pretty soon.
The Beverly Hillbilly. I love
She's leaving North Carolina to go to California.
It's a place.
I got a trip planned to California next year, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the place you ought to be.
Mm.
You can bundle up the truck and move to Beverly.
They'll love me out there. I'll fit right in like a glove.
You and Jed Clampett. Nobody knows the Beverly Hillbillies here. Okay, that's fine.
I do.
All right, well, you're not laughing.
I can do my Burt Reynolds laugh.
Do you remember
Smoking the Bandit laugh.
Do you remember when he posed nude and it was a big deal?
Yeah, I didn't look at it too long.
They said when he did Smoking the Bandit, everybody was walking around Gleason like they were walking around royalty, and Gleason was having the time of his life playing that sheriff.
Guilty justice. You didn't come from my loins.
6 minutes left.
We just zoomed in on Nate. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing about with the setting, seeing what it does. Yeah, take us back to that.
You got your librarian glasses on.
There we go. Yeah, because we don't have to have it on the screen constantly.
What's that say? Founder of the fucking page?
Yeah, you need to change your name there, Russell.
I think either Greg or you had made fun of me, and I reminded you of my royal status in the world, hinting at how pathetic.
Why doesn't Greg ever come on here?
Well, I was just pointing out how pathetic my life is, that I'm trying to prove my status to you and Gregorius. Nanny and the Professor. Oh, no, what is it? The Ghost and Mrs. Muir.
Greg would sit here and talk Zen for like hours. You could never get him to shut up, man.
Where is he lately?
I think he's living in his car.
I've been
living under a tree.
Yeah.
Absorbing nature, which is a good thing. I truly believe nature talks to you. I do.
I've been tagging him in all the streams. He did appear on one, didn't he?
Yeah, the one where you guys wouldn't shut up and wouldn't let me talk, so I quit. I retired.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we just got absolutely wasted. That was funny though. Yeah.
He's a good fella. He means well.
Yeah.
He tries to be Charlie. He lives vicariously through Charlie too much, I think.
He knows it's a character. He knows it's a character. It's just he used to not know when to stop. He said he loved me because I got it. that, I didn't take it too seriously. I was just like, shut the fuck up. Again, can I talk?
Yeah.
And I've thrown him off. I've taken him back. He asked me to be an administrator on his page, so I get to be an administrator on his page. So naturally, I clean out half the fucking page. So
you're famous for that, aren't you?
Yeah. Russ, what are you doing? What are you doing? So he takes me off as an administrator. He makes Ristina. The page number doubles within 3 or 4 days, and then he gives it up because nobody ever does anything or says anything, and nobody will answer any of his nonsense.
Nancy, what's that light doing?
I've just set it to flash.
Nancy, tell them what that light is.
Oh, it's the moon. Yeah.
Well, she told me that earlier, but I didn't realize it. This is like a stage light with all different colors on it.
Yeah, no, it's got loads of different colours, yeah.
Yeah.
You can just be playing.
All right, so where do you believe Frykowski did he stumble down the stairs, and where was Linda Kasabian sitting right there on the side of the bushes going, I'm sorry. Is that true or false? Is that just a helter-skelter narrative?
I reckon she'd have helped to run after him.
According to her story and what she testified to in court, again and again and again, word for word, by word, never altering one word. According to her, she heard the screams in the house and she freaked out, so she ran up to the house. As she was running, she saw somebody run out, and that's when he fell down, and she looked at him directly in the eye. So maybe he stumbled on the stairs and held on, and they met eye to eye, according to her story. Or, so that would mean that it was at the front steps, because then Susan came out and she said, make it stop. And she said, it's too late. Again, that's the way that I imagine it based on the movement.
It's only in the movies, that's what she would say, yeah.
But that still doesn't, okay, so none of this, which we could get into another time, definitely. How did Sharon's blood get on the porch, and how did...
yeah, and then the bushes. There was blood in the bushes, too. That could be the result of somebody, them shrubs. You reckon that they could have been running by and that blood was spurting out or something, or they wrestled on that porch?
People who say Sebring was outside as well when he got shot. That's
I keep forgetting about his ass too, yeah.
That some of the blood on the bushes was actually Jay Sebring as well. They were both outside.
Everybody's been saying that for months, that's Jay Sebring's blood in them shrubs.
Yeah.
Right.
The last series about the murders, the last one that was on, I think it was on... Not
Epics.
Epics, right. That was a good one. That was a pretty good, take on it. They didn't run right to Helter Skelter. They concentrated.
No, did you see at the end when Igor, what's his face, said, I don't believe deep down that Vince had it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was a pretty good job. The other stuff I have a hard time watching when I know it's going to be crap.
Whenever it's Jeff Gwynne, I can't watch it. I'll mute that guy. When Jeff Gwynne talks.
I'm kind of glad all of the old people are gone, because now I can say this. What is your problem with Jeff Gwynne? He lays out
He's a fucking tool. He sits there and tells everybody how he feels that Charlie is feeling. Are you inside Charlie's mind? Are you inside his body? No, Jeff. No, Jeff, I'm talking about. He tries to tell us how Charlie is feeling.
All I can say to you is this. He said in interviews, and he said to me, look, read the books. Read the books, come to your own conclusions. He said it out.
Mr. Magoo, it's who he reminds me of. Mr. Magoo.
All right, yeah. I don't disagree with you. His book about Bonnie and Clyde was good, and he's just coming out with the Jonestown Massacre book.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
The stuff, you know what? I don't care what people's opinions are. How about this? Jeff Gwynne, I found him overloaded and flooded with documentary evidence, like the school records from 1930, whatever, early 1940s, when Charlie was arrested. I'll give you. What was the first time Charlie was arrested? Tell me what you think.
In Kentucky for trying to steal a car?
No, Nancy.
I can't remember. I've read it though. Yeah, I know he was young though, wasn't he? He was only about 14 or something.
No, he was younger. He was 9, according to McMahon.
9? Oh shit! No, yeah, I thought
can't get arrested.
That must be the first time he went to jail. Was when he was.
Let me tell you what he got arrested for. According to McMecken County police records that Jeff Gwynne went and researched, Charles Manson was arrested for burning down a school, just like Uncle Jesse told him to.
Shit.
Okay. Now Jeff Gwynne presented this to the world, based on police records. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter to me what he thinks. It really doesn't. I don't care. The documented police stuff.
A lot of people have gotten their hands on that stuff before he ever did.
Well,
Tom O'Neill has got. You think Tom O'Neill didn't get his more steps in than fucking Jeff Gwynn?
Yeah, I did.
How many viewers y'all got? I can't even see.
Oh, we're up to 6, I think, or we were. Where is it?
Wow.
4. No, we're down to 4 again now.
Panamint Patty's one of them, right?
Yeah,
Hands in
and
there.
Delinda's here.
Delinda.
Every time that I've been put in Facebook jail is because I said something. I obviously dissed somebody, and it was always Jason Freeman. And I made the same kind of jokes that I do about Mike Klatcher, but for some reason they got offended. And I wrote them back when they said, "Do you want to appeal this?" And I said, "Listen, don't give me these fucking walking straight lines if you want me out of jail. Stop telling me to accept him as a friend." Because I couldn't figure out why he was friending me constantly.
Right, I've tagged him. Hopefully you'll see it.
Nancy is just staring intently at everything.
I was just
she's getting
posting.
the files straightened out.
I'm just used to
all these files are in our file section in the group, everyone. Oh, Sam Smith's back. Hello.
Starry Vago, Sam Smith.
Are we to believe Charlie burned down an entire school?
I don't fucking believe it for nothing.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure, but it's pretty
You don't
easy to
believe
set
it. The record
to start a fire and it gets out of control.
Let me see those records. Don't go by Mr. Magoo's word. I want to see them.
If you
how do we know it's actually
Mr.
the Charles Manson as well?
There's a lesson for me too. There's a lesson for me too. I'm going to Google it and see if I can find it. If I can find it, then we all learn something.
Guess what, Russ? If
Yes.
Google was around when I was in high school, I'd have been valedictorian.
Me too.
In other words, it's BULLSHIT, half of Google is. Can't go by everything that's on there.
It finds Pornhub really fast for me. That's all I need out of life.
Hey,
Okay.
we have a new policy on here.
Charles. Police record. First arrest.
Surely another cup of tea.
All right.
Wow, Angie Dickinson was one
Need a
fine
brew?
looking 70s MILF.
What made you bring her up? I agree with you.
Somebody just posted a picture of her. Oh, Lord have
Yeah.
mercy. She's got legs for days. Damn.
If it was really on the police records, why didn't Gwen show us the copy? Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Like these other
In the
things.
book, maybe
show us what you
record that he
tells you
made.
that.
Mr. Magoo.
That's
He
Mr.
touching my
Smith,
nose.
Mr. Smith, we have not met each other yet, but I think that's an absurd thing to ask. He can't show every record that he found. You don't have time for it.
He's a wannabe. Listen, here's my take on people who host documentaries. Unless you're Robert Hendrickson, shut the fuck up. That goes for you too, Shrek. Charlie's best buddy. Did you show Charlie? Did his ear get ripped off after Charlie or before?
Who?
I think sort of during. Before.
Okay. Did he show Charlie? Look, Charlie, here's my war scar. I'm missing an ear.
Oh.
I'm being cruel.
Yeah.
I'm a tough guy behind the microphone, huh?
Yeah.
No, I like Nick. He's been perfectly polite to me. He didn't like it when I said, "You're fucking wrong about Susan." Because, see, Susan probably wouldn't give him more than 2 minutes. So reporters, you got to keep in mind, they remember that shit. They will go and side with the people that will talk to them for hours on end. That's how it is in life. You know, I get it. I understand.
What county is McMecken? Is that in Kentucky or West Virginia?
West Virginia. Wrong Turn, Russ. Wrong Turn. You ever see that movie? You ought to watch that movie, Wrong Turn.
I experienced.
And come back and talk shit to me.
When I got stuck in Cajun country, I experienced it. Believe me.
That's Louisiana.
It's all the fucking same in Brooklyn, pal.
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute.
If Charlie did burn down that school, we would have heard something long before Gwen claimed it. Yeah, I was
That's right.
I was surprised that when The Bugliosi wouldn't have put that in Helter Skelter if he had found it, and he looked pretty thoroughly, didn't he?
Bugliosi was all about himself.
But he went from his prison records, I think, didn't he? He didn't go delve right deep in.
I know who would know if Charlie burned down a whole school or not. Let me text him.
And Delinda says, Capture, how long have you researched this case?
A year, Delinda. A year. And anybody that has the internet can learn it as much as fucking people have. All right, let me tell y'all something. Here, I'm going to lay it all out on the line for you. Okay? It's like this. The internet. You can absorb everything that people have been doing for 35 years in a matter of 35 minutes. If you concentrate enough.
I have it right here.
There is a lot more information available about this case than there ever has been before as well.
Right,
know, so
35 minutes.
But I've been a couple of years, and there's still, you can never know.
I don't know shit
about this case.
I don't know shit.
What year was Manson born?
I don't know.
Hell.
1932.
In an interview with Diane Sawyer, which I love that interview, that's my favorite interview.
Hey, woman,
said,
I'm a rebel.
Manson said that when he was 9, he set his school on fire. This is Wikipedia.
Yeah, but did the whole thing burn down? That's what Saravago wants to know. Did the whole thing burn down?
I didn't say that I knew that. What I did say, which is right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Article,
Hold it still so my redneck eyes can see that.
I have not drank enough to hold it still. It's the article on Charles Manson.
Never mind. It's okay. I believe he probably lit a match. I tried to light a house on fire when I was a kid too, but it was concrete. I put a pile of leaves up by it. And...
That explains a lot, Mike.
Well,
That fucking explains a lot. Anyway, my point is he was arrested first time for burning down a school. I have proven it. So that's to say, it's not a matter of what Jeff Quinn thinks. Did he burn
attempted
down
arson.
He said that. It's in the record, and that's the end of it.
Okay.
That's all I care about.
All right.
What they were.
Jeff Quinn still sucks. Robert Henderson hung out with these people, stayed with them, went to court, sat right in the room with Charlie and Lynn, told Gypsy, fucking settle the fuck down and you ain't running the filming. Robert Henderson's the real deal. Jeff Quinn is not. End of story. As far as documentaries go.
Is a realer deal, a truer deal. I believe Hendrickson hung out with his subject, his one and only subject. He didn't do anything else. And I agree with you. But Jeff Quinn is not wrong. He's not wrong. His first arrest was at the age of 9 for burning down a school.
Okay. He got one thing right. Okay. But he tries to tell us how he's trying to make us. He's trying to portray Charlie as the worst image possible. That's what all these documentaries try and do.
I don't have
family. They make the family out to be a bunch of dirty, rotten, nasty hippies. According to Lynette, they showered every day. So
I don't disagree there, but it's our choice to believe it or not. And writing a book is a business. You make money. That's
right. No, I agree 100%.
So he's got to toe the company line just like anyone else. Or you're going to end up in a little teeny tiny publish it yourself book publishing house like Lynette, like George Simpson, and like Shrek. Did any of us ever hear of Shrek before we got into the Manson case?
No, never heard of him until his voice put me to sleep one night, listening to his rock star Charlie. What is that called? Superstar? Jesus. I literally fell asleep 20 minutes into it.
I made the mistake of listening to that documentary on a Saturday afternoon in the house to myself, and I started out drinking wine, and 3 hours later, he was still droning on. Now, Sam says, can somebody read that, what Sam says?
Fire starting is one part of the unholy triad of early childhood behaviors that predict criminal activity. The others being cruelty to animals and bedwetting. Did he do the others too? I don't get it. Starvago, explain that in English.
Well, it was Sam Smith who said it, but anyway.
His name's Starvago.
Mr. Smith, the reason why we're bringing up the 9-year-old school fire is because we were just debating whether or not one of the authors is trying to convince people of something or take sides. And I maintain I don't care. Mike, like many others, just can't stand Gwen, period.
Because he puts too much of his opinion on how he wants us to feel. It's like a portrayer for him.
That's your choice.
Oh, okay, so you like him because he spoke to you. Is this the sense I'm getting?
I never spoke to him. We texted on Facebook.
That's called speaking. That's a form of communication.
Okay, very good. So
if Robert Hendrickson did that, you'd take his side, wouldn't you?
Or I asked him also, why did Bonnie Parker still wear her wedding ring to the day she was killed? He said, only Bonnie knows. That's the end of it. I don't know, and I can't tell you, Russ.
Okay.
I asked him, why did Charlie or why did this one or that one do this or that? He said, according to the records that I found, it was this and that and this and that. Other than that, he didn't know. I don't get it. And let's say he did try to convince you. That's your choice to believe it or not believe it. Stick to the facts. The police records show, and when he was 9 years old, he tried to burn a school down, period.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. Who do you think in this entire case, and this question is for the panel and for the people that are listening out there, if you could go and rely on one story to have it told as accurately as possible with one of the family members, who would it be? That you would believe, legitimate, that knows the shit.
Well, one of the unknowns, definitely. Because it was a big hangout place. But anybody like known family members?
Yes.
Gypsy, Weesh.
I'm going with Gypsy.
Happy. Yeah, no, none of them I would believe because they all believed it until they finally woke the fuck up.
She's stable.
Gypsy?
She was the most stable one, I think. Later in life, after she got arrested all them times. Now, when you talk to her, she seems like the most level-headed. Like when you talk to Sandra, no offense to the Sandra fans.
The text tapes, yeah, that's what I would have said, yeah. I'd say fucking
that don't count. That don't count.
Yeah.
If you had to talk to one person to get the most accurate way of life and that shit that went down, who would it be? And I'll tell you right now, the ones that are in jail, you're not going to get a clear answer from them. They're so deluded.
But if we're saying it's like a fictional situation where they tell you the truth, they actually accurately give you an accurate description of what happened.
I'm asking
I'd
you.
want to know Tex, because Tex was the one. Tex was the one who fucking did most of it. So yeah, I would say Tex.
You can't get shit from him. He can't even remember how to pull his britches up.
Nancy, I can't believe you would take Tex seriously on anything.
Holy shit, he's like the dumbest dude out of all of them. Man.
No, but if he had to tell you the truth, if we were in some kind of fictional situation, you know.
Never.
Well, we're not in fiction right now. We're in real time.
And he had to tell you what actually happened. Yeah, I want to hear Tex's account of it because he was the one that did most of the stabbing. And why he did it. What was his motive?
Is Delinda in the room still?
Yeah.
Delinda, if you can hear me, did you actually meet Tex? Did you go visit him? And if you did, what was he like? What did you get from it? Did you get any kind of... Did you walk away thinking, you knew, felt a little more about him, like you knew him? Or was he just all about his Christianity? Let her know if she answers. Let me know.
As far as I know, Delinda did not meet him face-to-face personally.
I think Delinda is, the fact you do study the psychiatric reports. Yeah,
Go ahead.
It's important because what they say to the psychiatrist is different to what they say to...
Oh, I agree with that part.
Police officers and that, they guard down a bit and they say, because and Tex was interviewed a lot. His psychiatric report is really big.
Nancy, Delinda loves the fact that you do study their psychiatric reports. Delinda, we need to know, Mike, repeat your question.
Delinda, if you can hear me, did you go and meet Tex in person?
No, she was set up to, but the COVID happened.
Okay, I got you. All right. So I was fixing to ask you, Delinda, how did you feel walking away from that? Like, did you feel...
She never met him, yeah. She couldn't go because of COVID.
Or, like, I don't know. Did you... We all got reasons why we like who we like, that we're fans of them or whatever, or whatever. But Delinda obviously, is on the text train, and I was just wondering if she ever had an opportunity to meet the guy. That's all. I wasn't being smart.
No, you're not being smart. It was a great question. It's an absolutely great question. Patty, well, I don't want to tell that story until I make this statement because the old guard of this community is pretty much all gone. Is Diane on?
I haven't even heard from Diane today. She didn't even speak.
Okay, good. Then I can say it without hearing about it for the next 6 years. Sandy is a batshit crazy bitch.
Says there is Tex and there is Charles as well, because he was.
Sorry, Charles Tex. I'm sorry, Delinda.
He was only called Tex by certain people, wasn't he? Because it would have got confusing because there were two Charlies on the Spun Ranch. His real name was Charles.
Ross, what were you saying? I'm sorry. Who's a crazy bitch?
Sandy.
Sandy?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, she ran her mouth a lot. Like she acted like she took one for the team.
That's
when the
exactly
girls
right, but she was mysteriously absent when any shit went down.
Well, she was in jail with credit card with Mary Bruner on Cielo night, right?
That's exactly right. So she should shut the fuck up.
Exactly. She acts like, oh, well, this is what we do in the beginning of the Hendrickson film. This is when you get in our way. This is what we do. We kill. You didn't fucking kill shit unless we don't know about it. Unless we don't know. You know what? Let's get on that. How many other people do you think are dead courtesy of the Manson Family Express? How many?
I don't think that they murdered, at will. I think it was just things that happened by very stupid people. I don't think there's a whole, a bunch of unsolved murders due to the Mansons. I don't think that at all. I think it was like the longest weekend of everybody's life of getting high and hanging out and having all the sex you wanted, and it just got out of hand, period. End of story.
What about Nancy Pittman getting with Monfort? What about Ronald Hughes mysteriously dying? What about Marina Habe? Is that her name? What about all these other people that they linked to these
Joel Pugh as well.
Joel Pugh, right?
Yeah. Nancy Pittman was, by all accounts, before she actually entered the Manson compound, was a spoiled bat, rich bitch.
True.
She was friends with Angela Lansbury's daughter, and they were hanging out, and she walked in one day, and that's fine. But being on the ranch, she's a miserable little bitch. Not a lot of people liked her. Not a lot of people respected her, and she was vicious and cruel. And when the shit got out of hand, she ratted everybody out. She ran into the police. She did this. She did that. And you see the pictures yourself now. She's living a wonderful middle-class life to the point where she doesn't give a fuck if anybody
Hawaii. Whoa,
Linda says
Delinda.
she gets along with Tex because they're both sociopaths.
I would have never guessed that, Delinda.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that you were that honest.
Gee, that's cute.
No idea.
Okay, so Nancy, all right, so that's as far as Nancy Pittman goes. I mean, and she stood by and did nothing while other people were hurt. And she enjoyed it because, like Heinrich Himmler, he was in charge of every fucking death in the Holocaust, but he never shot anybody in his life. So,
who?
What were the other names? Heinrich Himmler. He was the head of the Gestapo in World War II in Germany. Who were the other people you mentioned?
Marina Habe died. Reet
Cower. No.
Reet Whitson.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, they had a composite drawing of her in an old picture. Yeah, I think she came down from Canada, a nice quiet life, and something happened and it was killed. But that doesn't mean it was the Mansons at all. I don't.
Well, they're always linking those people to them from proof of where
the Pew thing has been debunked.
Okay, all right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
I'm still a rookie.
I still think there's weird questions, though. It was a very strange death. It still deserves some looking into.
Joel Pugh had mental illness.
They probably fucked his head up a lot as well, didn't they? Meeting people like them. So yeah,
exactly.
Even if they didn't directly kill him, they were in some way responsible. So
Mike, if they link a lot of things to it, no police evidence links the death of Reet Cower or whatever her name was, or you just said Marina
Habe. Marina
Habe. That's I learned about those murders where they belong on Entertainment Tonight and Wives with Knives or some bullshit like that. I never learned about it in a police documentary. I think they were picked up and they were just put out there because it would make money.
Okay,
that's all I think. I don't think that's just a sidetrack that was created to make money, to sell papers, to sell documentaries, to go on shitty little channels. That's all.
Well,
in my mind.
Oh.
We get another sociopath in the chat.
Well. I'm taking this one.
Take it. Who's this?
Ladies and gentlemen, I finally give you the world famous and much loved, and I was very worried about her. This is Christina Kappinen, also known as KK or Ulla Kappinen.
She's real. Okay. Gotcha.
This is Ulla. She's a good Manson person. She's good people, and thank God she's safe.
Hello, Ulla.
Yes. Absolutely. And she's back in our arms right now. And I was supposed to call her an hour ago. So she's waiting to tear me apart. But she lives in Finland, so I should live a little. Now, our dear Ulla, who is also known as KK, that's what she says, Christina Kappinen, she's known as KK. She says, me too, Delinda. I'm mostly a danger to myself, though. Ulla, I really wish you wouldn't talk like that. She had a rough month. And Nancy, it would be a good idea if you gave her a call. Let's just leave it. Professionally speaking, it would be a good idea if you gave her a call.
Yeah.
Okay? Nancy, I really, really mean it. But anyway, Ulla fell in love with Charlie a long, long time ago. She felt a kinship. She has her own opinions, and she's cool. So I hope we can have her as a guest one day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she's good people, and I'm glad she's back. Very, very glad she's back. Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to retire because I have to attend a meeting.
Yeah, we've been going over an hour now, and the screen sharing worked, didn't it? I'll just show, because did everyone see the pictures? I'll just go through it one more time.
How many viewers did we have at top?
Oh God, I think it went up to about 6 or 7 at one point.
I was just getting warmed up.
But yeah, Russ, if we pay for it, we can stream to Facebook at the same time as well.
Openly volunteer to pay for it. Get the thing rolling, so you can send me a link or a PayPal or something like that, and I'll do a perpetual billing for 6 months, and we'll see how it works.
Yeah,
it's no big deal. It's nothing. I would be happy to do it, and that means I'm a producer. How do you like that? I'm a producer.
Yeah, right.
But you guys
for
don't
everyone.
have to leave if you're just getting rolling. Mike, stay here. Everybody stay. You don't have to leave.
Nancy, you want to stay?
These are the injuries to the top of Ficowski's head from the gun barrel, and this is the summary of the wounds to his left leg, which was the subject of this
Nancy, aren't you going to say goodnight and ask me what I'm wearing to bed so I can tell you I have my Superman underoos on?
Oh, right, great.
Okay.
No, you're Batman tonight then.
Good night.
Nancy, you want to stay?
Yeah, good night. Yeah, well, we might as well hang around for 10 minutes, because there's a couple of people here still, aren't there? Yeah. Okay.
When is our next official show?
Next official show, he wants to know, Next weekend, not this
next
weekend.
Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday.
Maybe we can do these little shows anyway to solidify what we discovered tonight, because technically speaking, this pretty much went flawlessly.
You sound as best as you've sounded right now, and you're leaning back and you're. There you go.
Now is it?
I don't get what happened, and Nancy is very intently trying to get everything. Nancy,
that's it. There we go.
Okay.
Remember, take a picture of your board so you know what the settings need to be.
Yeah. No, it's just fiddling about with stuff.
Okay, remember also, I got a bunch of authors who are waiting to come on. Chuck Chapman, Neil Saunders, Emily Barwick, who's related to an uncle.
Yeah, well, once we get it all seamlessly running, we can interview people like that. We've just got to get it so that we can...
Nancy, would Neil Sanders come on?
Yes.
You reckon he'd come on?
I reckon he would, yeah.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah, and he took some other people's...
I saw him in Stoner's chat. He was cool as fuck.
Yeah. He's answered questions for me because I contacted him. In his book, he mentions a study that this A. Smith matey did of the family study of a group marriage, and the whole thing is quoted in the book. He's put the whole thing, transcribed it in there. But I asked him where he found it and could I see the original source? Could he show me the original source? He hasn't actually managed to find it. He said it's probably on an old laptop or something. Because I looked for it, you see. I've searched for this study and I've never been able to find it. And Chaos, he also mentions it. They did a study of the family, which shows they were being studied. So that is something, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Also, Tanya Hagen, who is a true crime author, a regular author, 5 times best-selling New York Times author, and a couple of other people that I got in the hopper. So once we're set to go, we can have these people on, and we'll all have a wonderful chat. It'll be great. Okay, so tonight it's either Superman or Batman. I haven't decided yet. I can't get Nancy to laugh. Okay.
Sorry, I was
Must
reading the
behave
chat. I
yourself
wasn't
tonight,
listening. I was
man.
You
reading the
guys,
chat.
Mike, everybody will speak tomorrow because I think we made a.
I don't want to be hearing about you on NYPD Blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good night, all.
Well,
Yeah, we might as well end the stream
Oh,
now.
one
So I don't
show,
think there's
never
much
mind.
more to say, is there? We're all going to be in the group though.
Very well.
Join the group if you're not in it already.
All right, everybody. So this is the new launch of the new titled show.
Yeah, and we've learned how to screen share, so I can show you a document while I talk, which is useful.
True Crime and Moonshine.
Yeah.
And it is brought to you by ABC NYC Limos
Limos.
and Guided Tours of New York City. And next week, we're going to have a 30-second commercial from Squirrels Are Us in Georgia. Mike,
Yeah.
go ahead, buddy.
Northwest Georgia, where you can get the best squirrel stew. Just come join us on squirrelstew.com. We promise we won't overcook it.
And remember, did I tell you?
Remember, squirrels are us. Remember, it tastes like chicken.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's it. That's what my first girlfriend said after. Okay. Anyway, good night, all.
See ya, bud.
Good night. Yeah. Right, we'll end the stream, and yeah, I was going to try and post the link to the group, but most of us are in the group. Talk in the group. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.